Oh, also, did you hear? Because they mention it like 10 times in the show. He's got a penis as well.
Oh yeah, I did know about that.
Do you want to talk about it? Do you guys want to talk about his penis?
I actually
because the show definitely wants to talk about his penis.
Yeah. I am not that interested in talking about his penis.
Mikey?
Mikey, I have a feeling like probably thought that was pretty cool. Wow. What a hole.
What a hole.
Wow, what a hole.
And
Welcome back to Anime Shmanime, where I try to convince my buddy Jordy over here to like anime. We try.
I try to sometimes.
Yeah, Jay tries to. To like anime as much as I do, or we do.
Yeah.
Or I show him anime that just traumatizes him.
yeah,
Like this one, Made in Abyss.
I'm going to have Stockholm Syndrome with Dragon Ball Z by the end of this, dude.
Yeah, true.
But I think that you'll count that as a win,
I do.
which is kind of fucked up.
I absolutely do.
Twisted love.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
But this one is like an unexpected, amount of trauma considering the aesthetic of the anime.
Yeah.
This is some fucking nightmare fuel. Man.
But like, not just nightmare, but like out of left field halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not seeing it coming kind of nightmare shit.
Okay, it's so good.
Okay, hold on.
It
hold
is
on,
so
hold on, hold on,
good.
though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
We've already spoiled the vibe, so now we'll just tell the viewers, the Shweebs, that we will spoil all the things around
Yes.
the vibe and the instances and the circumstances of which.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, we spoil everything. Go watch it if you haven't, because it's awesome. It's only 12 episodes.
Yeah,
But
Did we say what it is yet? Did we say the title?
he did, but I spoke
okay.
over him, as I am wont to do.
yeah.
One more
Well,
time.
yeah, we're doing Made in Abyss.
Yes.
And we're doing it because literally at the time of this recording, season 2 comes out next month.
Cool.
Cool.
So Made in Abyss is like Studio Ghibli's Journey to the Center of the Earth, but with a lot more child abuse.
I'll say.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
Heavy emphasis on the
Yeah.
child abuse.
Man, oh man, do they put an emphasis on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Is it child abuse or is it... okay, no, the first part is child abuse where they make them go
Yep.
into the hole. But like afterwards, it's like training.
Still child abuse.
No, it's training. It's kind of like training. I mean,
Training for what?
like Ozen trains them. So Ozen is the girl, the one that
Yeah.
has the dark hair and like
I'm not saying everybody's evil, but there's not an element of these kids' lives that isn't abuse.
yeah,
Really.
and trauma filled.
And then
Yeah.
the two like major characters they meet towards the end, you find out were also literally horribly experimented on.
Yes.
To the to such a degree
Yeah.
that one was doomed to eternal life as a slug cat.
Yeah. It like comes right to the edge without maybe crossing the line of the little girl dog from Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
Okay, I haven't
yeah.
seen that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. I keep like forgetting. We're going through this again. If you have listened to our previous episodes,
Mikey
but
always loses his shit.
Lose my shit because I suppressed the memories of you not having
That's
seen.
right, motherfuckers. I haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist yet.
Yeah.
That's right. I haven't.
And I have
Yes.
Yeah.
a couple times,
Crazy.
long before any of this became a thing.
Yeah, because I have like my view of you can't change, so I just choose to
Ignore that.
Yeah, continuously
Yeah.
I'll
forget
get there
it.
when we cover it on the show.
We'll
Yeah.
get there one day.
Yeah, we'll
Cover
get
it.
there.
You know? Do you know about the dog?
I know that there is a very like heartbreaking story centering around
Yes.
that.
It's
dog
like
character.
1 degree more heartbreaking than this, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty close though.
I mean, yeah. This is obviously heartbreaking, but like for me, it was more so just like traumatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they spring it on you.
Yeah. Like,
Out of
and the
nowhere.
fact that like I remember watching this and being like, yeah, we've got to do this one, especially with season 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Well, we also, listeners, we didn't do the movie. We only did season 1. There's a movie after this.
Of this?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of canon. So like,
Okay.
it's kind of like the Demon Slayer movie, where it's like it continues the story.
Sure.
But this
I don't know if I'm going to watch season 2.
what?
I
Why
actually
not?
am intrigued.
This is an intense anime, man.
I think
I-
Jay has been hurt.
Yeah, I this is a certain type of anime, and like there are certain shows that do this, and like I mean I'm not gonna sit here and like name a whole bunch of them, but like they do this thing where they lull you in, either with a cute story,
Whimsical
or
fantasy.
something of some
Yeah.
whimsy,
Yeah.
and then they hit you.
Fuck you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, I love
likes
that.
Mikey
I
likes to be hurt.
I know he loves that. I don't.
I'm a sadomasochist.
So like, you know, I like knowing what I'm gonna like. Obviously, I like surprises in the
Yeah.
things that I watch, but
Yeah.
like I generally like to know tonally what I'm about to sit down and watch.
Sure.
So
Ah,
like, so
no.
when there were things that happened in this that like it made me want to just like stop watching it.
So let me tell you my perspective of it, because I actually don't mind that. And we've established many times that I have an issue with children and
Yes.
instances around children. So that's hard for me. But this show, actually, I think the like whimsical fantasy that they set up in advance of that kind of made it so far from reality that it wasn't as hard hitting as some of the like more real life, almost slice of life shows that really hit me hard.
Yeah, because
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
set in more reality than it is. Where this one is like, there's
It's a
big
completely
fucking-
different world.
Yeah, it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Like, you have these characters that don't have anything to do with like, you know, it's not like,
Dude,
Japan,
one of them's a
right?
rabbit.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
like-
mean, what is a rabbit now?
Yeah.
Wasn't a rabbit before.
Sure, yeah, okay, fair enough. That's a good point, yeah.
But yeah, this is my favorite thing. Is like this is exactly why you didn't like it, Jay. Is because I love the fact that I was going in thinking, oh, this will probably like, you know, candy, like something light to watch while I'm like, I don't know, eating dinner at my coffee table, and then it's just like bam in my face. I'm like, holy fuck, I need to see more of this.
You have to stop eating dinner because now you're queasy.
The thing is, though, it's not necessarily like specifically what happens. It's the fact that it's what is happening to little kids.
Yeah.
And that to me,
Okay.
I think, is what makes me feel so uncomfortable, because
Sure.
if you really look on paper, I mean, age these characters up 10 or 15 years, and I'm not nearly as traumatized
Yeah.
by watching these things happen. But like, and this one, we'll get into this when we talk about art.
Sure.
But like, there are like art choices here made and character design choices that I wholeheartedly don't like.
Yeah, and I agree with you there, where I think that if they were aged several years further, it's a better show.
Yeah.
But to me, when it's children, it is hard hitting, but more so in a real show than in a fantasy completely.
Yeah,
different
I
than
understand
this.
that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, because I see where you're coming from, and I hear where you're coming from, because like I've worked with kids who have been like, I've been in that industry.
Experimented on and like
Well, okay, no, not like in that kind of fucking sense, but like having it,
Bleeding from every hole.
God fucking motherfuckers, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, right. Like, but like it's a different kind of level. There's so many things removed in reality that I think I can separate.
Yeah. You and
from,
me have that in common.
Yeah,
I think.
right. Like, because it's, you know, if it was about real life issues, like real life traumas, I'd be like, okay, this is hitting home. This is hitting hard, right? Like I've you know, worked with those kinds of kids, but this is like,
Yeah.
you don't turn into a fucking rabbit.
No, man, but like when they're like trying to force amputate her arm, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs and screaming to kill me, kill me.
Yeah.
That was it. That was
heavy.
Like, that's like not like that.
That's
I don't
heavy.
enjoy that. I don't enjoy that.
It's
And
uncomfortable
like
to
and like
see.
if that happens to a girl in her mid 20s or mid 30s, as fucked up as this is to say, if that happens to somebody in their mid 20s or mid 30s, it's like, oh, that's fucking horrifying. This is happening to like what appears to be like a 7-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That's degrees higher, more that's several
Yeah.
degrees more disturbing to me.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, right? Like, it's
He's gonna keep trying to defend it.
I know, it's
okay,
hilarious.
yeah. Okay, you liked 48 Hours. Did you watch that movie 48 Hours about the dude who had, like that actually happened
No.
to you? No. Okay.
Oh, 127 hours. You mean?
That's the
You were
one.
way off.
48 hours.
I don't
Dude was in there for like 2 whole days.
He cut his arm off and everything.
I can't fucking remember,
It's
man.
all good, buddy.
I watch anime, okay,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, right? Like, it's adding an element of realism to a whimsical story where, like, what would happen if little kids actually went down and tried to mine this fucking hole? And
I don't like the answer.
Yeah, you
what
don't want
would
to see that
happen.
story, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not an enjoyable journey for me.
But I think that's what like we've done animes from the 90s, and then as soon as the different generation of anime keep coming in, it's gotten more fluffy, I think, for the most part, with the amount of anime that's been put out there. And so to see something a bit more gritty, I love it because it brings me back to how gritty things used
I love
to be.
gritty anime, dude. I've never seen like sub 10-year-old children as ravaged as they get by this show in any other show. Name any other show that has kids this young go through this level of fucking actual torture.
Maybe not this young.
And
You know
like,
what?
okay,
Don't
five,
say
six-
that to him, because now it's a challenge,
And-
and, he's
and-
going to
and-
find it, and he's going to make us watch it.
And like
Trying to
the other
think.
aspect
Wait,
is
Shweebs, tell me if you've seen it.
I've seen other anime that have little kids as the main characters. The
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
they often have some sort of either creature companion or magical ability or something to help them be not so powerless to what's going on around them.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
literally just what is going to happen to this little blonde girl this episode.
Yeah.
That's going to make me want to stop watching this show.
So you're saying if as
And the
long
last
as,
episode, dude, they're still doing it. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, so what I'm hearing is that you say that as long as they're aged up maybe 5 years, like a teenager, because there's a lot of teenager anime out there that
Sure.
fucked up things happen, and if they have something that they can still have a little bit of power to fight back, you're okay with.
A few layers of protection where it's not just like a fucking like flesh bag to be abused.
Part of me wants to stop you guys, but I'm loving the fact that you guys are just going at it with each other, and I'm just enjoying watching it from the sideline
No,
here.
you know what?
Yeah, no, this
Listen,
is-
I think this is important
Yeah.
to talk about because this is like kind of like the point of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
right?
true. It is true.
And I'm explaining how it can be very off-putting to audience
Yeah.
that would potentially love everything else about this. And
Yeah.
I want to get into our normal format because there's some shit I want to talk about in a positive
Yes.
light.
Sure.
Because the only reason that I was around by the end to see all of this fucked up shit happening was
Yeah.
because this world is really interesting and they have some
Yes.
really interesting things going on. And we'll get
Yeah.
into that. But it's the hook that got Mikey is what will probably make me not watch this anymore. Isn't that weird?
I actually love it so much.
Yeah. No.
I needed this to happen. I needed a
Oh my
rift between the two
God.
of you.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
wish we had
happen
done.
often.
Can
It
I be
doesn't
honest with you?
happen
I
often.
wish we had done this episode before we just recorded Dragon Ball Z, because I would have loved for you guys to not have been best buds against me
Yeah,
for a bit there.
No, we'll always
Deal
be
with it.
best buds
I
in
know.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Anytime we do
100%.
Dragon Ball, yeah, we're always going to be
You're
on a
going
team.
down, bro.
But no, I honestly am surprised though that you didn't like this as much as I did. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't say as much as me, but I thought you would like it more.
Yeah, well,
Well,
we'll
fuck.
see. You don't know how much I liked it, but you know what I didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
okay.
how much I
Okay.
didn't like
That's
it.
clear now. So you know what this movie has a lot of as well too? Magic.
Yes.
A
yes.
shit ton of magic and a lot of parameters around the magic.
But
Constantly.
you like parameters. You like rules. You like
but I don't like when the whole show is just rule after rule after rule after rule. Do you know what I mean? I like to be able to understand it. I don't like to have to constantly be explained it continually.
Oh, are you kidding me? You're the one who fucking likes when they do explain shit in other
I like
animes.
for it to make sense
yeah.
without me having to make it up and fill in the holes. I don't like for them to continuously introduce new elements every episode and then explain to me how it works.
Yeah, but this is only a 12 episode season.
Yeah, and every episode there was some fucking thing new.
Yeah, but you got to understand that it's fucking like 12 episodes. The other animes that we've watched have like at least 24.
I understand.
And
I just don't like it.
mother.
That's bullshit, Jordy.
No, it's
that
not,
is
dude.
bullshit.
It's not at all. It's not at all.
Move on. That's bullshit.
There's a lot of shit. Just generally a lot. You know what I mean? There's a lot of magic. There's a lot of plot elements and movements happening. A lot of shit just getting thrown at you constantly.
And that's the thing. I feel like if we could sit here and read a book on the actual rules of the abyss, it'd be a thick fucking book.
Exactly.
I get that
Yeah.
for sure. And we only see a few little select pages out of that book.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the curse and the objects that are like the artifacts or whatever, and they're all
The whistle levels.
Whistle levels.
Totally.
Not-
She's a fucking corpse.
Yeah.
Dude, like what the fuck's going on, man?
Yeah, whistle levels, the creatures, the fucking entire world design. I love when anime and manga artists, like and writers, really put in the time to create such a vibrant world like this.
The world is rich, dude, and we'll get into it. But before we do that, let's get some Senpai's Corner, some history going on.
Yeah, this will be a super quick one, guys. We'll blow through this, but
Senpai.
That's you.
so some of this info will be about the manga series because this is based off of a manga. So Made in Abyss, or Meido in Abyssu.
Can someone just quick Google translate to me a couple words? Made in abyss in Japanese.
Yeah, the answer is Meido in Abyssu.
It won't be though.
Is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Akihito Tsukushi. It has been serialized online in Takeshobo's digital publication Webcomic Gamma since 2012 and has been collected into 10 tankobon volumes. It depicts the journey of a girl to the bottom of titular abyss, from where no one has ever returned in search of her mother, accompanied by a robot who looks like a boy while joining other companions along the way. It is a gross simplification of what we are subjected to.
dive into. Yeah.
An anime television series adapted by Kinema Citrus aired from July to September 2017. A sequel film premiered in Japan in January 2020. A second season is set to premiere in July 2022. And also, funnily enough, a live action film began early development in 2021 with Kevin McMullen hired to direct, and an action role-playing game developed by Chime Corporation will be released on consoles and PC in September 2022.
Can I ask what like really famous actress?
Don't even fucking go there.
Might play.
Don't you dare fucking go. I know exactly
The
where
lead
you're
role?
going to go.
The lead role,
maybe this
could
one right
see,
here.
I could see her playing all of them.
Shweebs.
I mean,
Shweebs.
she's very
For
versatile.
those of you who have not been with us from the beginning,
Hold
this
on,
little
hold on.
fucker.
Mikey, what
loves-
if she played MIDI? Would you like that?
I would like her not to play anything.
She's so talented and versatile,
She's
though.
not talented and versatile. She's very one note.
So
moving on.
real
I don't want to watch any live action because live action anime is always very poorly made.
So real quick about the reception of
Piece of shit.
Sorry, go,
reception of Made in Abyss. So generally, was met with positive reviews. It was considered to be one of the best anime series of 2017, and it actually won Anime of the Year and Best Score at Crunchyroll's 2018 Anime Awards.
Wow. Interesting.
Nice.
They definitely saw what Mikey saw, which was
Well, they saw what you saw as well,
a little
too.
girl peeing herself from the pain she's enduring, which is
But this is the thing.
choice that they made.
There were a couple choices.
Yeah.
Even outside of the like massive drastic, like there were some little choices that were also a little like, sorry, what?
Record scratch
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the world because we were just about to before we split off there. So as you said, there's a mysterious abyss, right? And it like I guess they found it. They don't know how it got there, and it started attracting explorers. And the settlements eventually became a huge city, and now we have this like massive
Village
city.
community
I
thing.
would say a city. It's
Yeah.
huge, right?
Yeah.
And it all exists around the concept of this abyss and exploring it and figuring out what's down there.
Getting
basically.
the artifacts.
Exactly. And the artifacts are all magical,
Of course.
Yep.
which not my favorite part of the show.
Come on,
No, fuck you.
man.
There's just like everything they Dude, and they all have like arbitrary power levels. So now they've introduced this like weird secondary concept of like power scaling these artifacts, and they have magical powers depending on which one you have. It just was another thing I didn't need in this show. It didn't need that, personally.
But it did.
That's your opinion. So we cannot talk about the world without talking about the abyss. And so
Yes.
at one point in the show, again, they like very plainly explain to you the layers and what they all are. So let's go through them really quick. So there's layer 1 is the edge,
Yep.
which is the edge of the abyss. And often like the creatures from the second layer will come up to the edge, right? So it's like not dangerous, but like a little, you're starting to enter the abyss. The second layer is the forest of temptation. Which also includes the inverted forest, which looks dope as shit. But we'll get to that in art. And apparently here are red whistles, which again, we haven't even got to whistles yet. But if the red whistles go down there, no one's going to save them. So we've already reached in the second layer a place where like it's dangerous.
Yes.
Third layer is called the Great Gulf, which is basically just like a massive cliff and like an open shaft.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fourth layer is called the Goblet of Giants. Only black whistles are allowed down here. The fifth layer is called the Sea of Corpses.
Yep.
Only white whistles are allowed down there, and even then, only a few of them ever come back, apparently.
Yep.
And
Some
the
of them just
last,
straight up live there.
yeah, the last layer is called the Capital of the Unreturned, and nobody's ever come back from there.
That is not the final level, actually.
Well, that's all we've been told about.
Yeah. Well, no, they do mention it because the mom is like all the way at the bottom at the deepest point.
Isn't
Right.
that this?
No, so there's a seventh layer and the deepest point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Missed that in my notes, but
Yeah, the final maelstrom is layer 7.
I don't think they
Are
explained that.
you just straight up reading spoilers to us from the manga?
Because there's a manga,
No.
dude. Yeah,
No, but I'm pretty sure they mentioned that in the anime.
nah.
No?
They talk about the bottom a lot, but when they explain the layers, they really only get to layer 6. I know because I made notes.
Okay, that's fair. You know what? I could have.
Wow, spoiler alert,
I was-
Mikey.
well, like I said, guys, you guys fucking know Shweebs. Y'all know that I'm
They
spoiled
didn't,
shit.
and now they do, and now
We
they're mad at you.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Okay, so they keep explaining how the lower levels are like more and more and more dangerous, and then again, somehow these completely untrained kids keep just like getting lucky. And I know shit happens to them, but like in a world where they've created this like level of dangerous layers and layers and layers, these kids should realistically be fucking dead.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
in
Now, granted,
moments.
exactly.
Yeah.
Granted, they have a Deus Ex Machina
Yes.
because he's a robot.
yes.
So
Reg.
he's got powers that can protect and keep them safe. But just like if we're going to use the term power scaling, they've power scaled the depths, and these children who should not be powerful at all are just living
Yeah.
continuously.
So the main thing about this is that, or the mechanism is that going down is okay. It's just when you try to go back up. So if you
Well, you're talking about the curse,
yes.
but I'm talking about just like the dangers that exist down there and the monsters and shit.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
can talk about the curse though. That's actually a good segue.
Yeah.
Because the curse is another part of this world that's like super pervasive in the storyline. And they have this way they think it works where like there's 2 levels to it, right? One, you just like kind of slowly decay and die as you go deeper. And the other thing is like this like version of the bends where if you go up too fast,
Yeah.
you die.
Yeah.
You just start bleeding like crazy.
Yeah.
Later on, we find out that's just not true.
Nope.
It just works completely differently. Than that.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
magic. It's
Yeah.
being able to weave your way through
Yeah.
and feel.
Yeah. This little fucking rabbit critter explains it. She's like, it's like a little sheet.
Nanachi.
Nanachi, yeah.
The last thing I think that's worth talking about of the world is the whistle system. I think that's kind of world.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about it. There's just different colors, and the higher levels of whistle can go deeper.
Yep.
That's really all I need to know.
Well, the other thing too, though, is they eventually train. Like, I mean, Rico, the main character, she didn't train, but her mom is like one of the highest
Yeah.
whistle.
Rico essentially ran away
Yeah.
before
right?
reaching a higher level. Yeah.
So ideally, these people would be training for years to go deeper and deeper, but
Yeah.
she's just going fucking gung ho.
Yeah.
Right, and we get to see all the crazy shit she has to deal with.
Yeah.
And not only the crazy shit, but the crazy other people,
Yeah.
right? The other divers or the other miners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the juxtaposition of like the sparseness of how many people are down in abyss versus like the density of people up in the town. Like that's kind of cool. It just goes to show like how few people actually can go deep, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Let's talk about the fucking visuals of this show because they're dramatic.
They are awesome.
Dramatic. I
the
feel like
art
Jay's
styles?
been silent for a while because this is
Yeah.
where I think he wanted to say some shit about how sick it looks.
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't like mind-blowingly amazing necessarily. I definitely liked some of the choices that they made. Some of the creature designs I thought were really interesting. I mean, right off the top, the crimson split jaw or whatever that attacks them.
Yeah.
Looked really dope. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Totally.
And you know, there's a laundry list of other creatures that they encounter that all have like pretty cool designs. And the nature itself as well, like
Yeah.
the actual environments that they found themselves in, I thought were like super, super gorgeous.
Totally.
I will say that in the realm of character design,
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the round,
The
really
Nendroid chibi look.
really super round, bulbous little babies that they made them.
Yeah, but that's like
It's just their heads though.
that's the chibi look though. That's like Nendroids all look like that. Those
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
no, I
have
know.
Nendroids.
I know, and I've seen other children in anime. And they don't have to look like this.
Yeah.
This was a choice that was made, and I'm
Yeah.
sure some people really love this
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
This is a style that I actually really don't like.
Okay.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
for me, it was I liked the design of the adult characters.
Yeah.
And I liked the design of the creatures
Yeah.
and of the world, but the kids themselves,
Okay.
absolutely did zero for me.
Interesting.
See, I really like the fact that they made the choice to make these kids so much more babies because the juxtaposition of what they look like and what they're going through, it just fucks you up so hard
You just
that it
loved watching these little tiny kids get hurt.
No, I didn't.
You loved it.
Trauma's
I
so
just-
much sweeter when they look innocent.
yeah. Their cries are more delicious and
Oh
tantalizing.
my god, dude. I don't want to sit over here with this guy.
You want to come over here?
Yeah, he's spooking me.
I actually liked the design of the characters personally, but to me, it's just because they were unique.
Yeah.
Whereas you said you liked the character design of the adults, I found the adults to be kind of like same. As
Well,
a lot of shit I've seen.
I mostly mean our girl there.
Yeah.
But, like,
Okay. Sure.
But like, think about it. Okay, like how many anime all have very similar designs?
Yeah.
Right? Like there's just so much out there, like especially in the isekai genre. Like they're just pumping it out.
That's why I
And-
liked this.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a little
It was unique. It was fresh.
It maybe compared to other ones, but within this, every single kid had the same head shape and eye shape, and
Yeah.
like
You're right. Aside from Rico and Reg, it was hard to tell their friends up top in the city. It was hard to tell them apart. That's true. I'll give you that. Another thing I really liked about the art, sorry, Mike, yeah, you can disagree if you want. Another thing I liked about the art was just the sense of vastness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The city was so big, and they always show it from a wide above, like
yeah,
aerial
like-
shot, so you get the sense of the sky
The
that's huge
panoramic
around it.
views that they give,
And the abyss
eagle
too,
eyes,
dude.
yeah,
Like,
and-
okay,
yeah.
we're talking about a hole in the ground,
Yeah.
and yet they can make it seem so big that it's like a different world.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
I dig that
love
about
that.
it.
I
dig
thought
that
about it as well. Like you don't really get a big picture outside of the abyss region. But I at one point I was thinking about I'm like how crazy it would be if like they conceptualized that the planet was like a cylinder
Whoa.
Oh, that'd be cool.
instead of a sphere.
Yeah.
And it was all built around the abyss.
Yeah.
And like at the bottom of the abyss would be like the core or whatever.
Yeah.
of
There's
the
another
planet, you know what I
city on
mean?
the
Or-
other side. There's another hole
knows,
with
right?
another
Yeah.
city,
But
and
I-
that's where her mom is.
But it just goes. Whoa! No, it just goes to show, like you're right, like how good a job they did at showing the vastness of the abyss, and like they didn't need to show beyond that because it felt like it's a whole world contained in this one
Sure.
tube.
It might as well have been a cylinder, whether the shape of the world is or not. Yeah, I
it
hear
felt
what
like
you're
a
saying.
whole world. Yeah.
That sense of vastness also is apparent in the sound they chose. They used a lot of silence
yes.
and big resonating, booming basses. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and a lot of reverb, a lot of delay, like a lot of things that you can feel. Like, say if you were actually in a cave where,
Yeah.
you know, things are dampened, but at the same time, if a noise does happen, like
it's almost like instead of the noise, you hear the vibrations of things.
Yes.
You feel it, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. I like that, dude. I love that. I thought
Yes.
didn't you say it won an award for score? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see? I felt that. Even without knowing that. I was like, oh, the vibe of this.
Yeah.
The audio vibe.
Yeah, because usually, and that's the thing, right? Like in so many animes, and even during our podcast, we kind of skim over music a lot of the time, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, it just did its job, but like this really fucking did its job.
Yeah.
Right? Like it really
Totally.
brings you into the whole fucking thing.
Jay didn't give a shit about it. He didn't care.
It was okay.
Yeah, because it's not a standard like anime theme song happening all the
Nah,
time.
yeah. I didn't catch myself really being like overly moved by the music. At
I
any
felt
point.
to me the main thing was just that it added to that sense of vastness, which
Yeah.
I was
the sound
already
design
into.
was good. I thought like
Yeah.
the sound effects and like you know what I mean.
That's more what I'm
the
talking
sounds
about.
of the environments was good, but like music wise, I can't recall too many.
Yeah. I guess
tracks
So
or
we should rename
tunes
this
or songs.
segment instead of music.
We talked about that, calling it the audio segment instead of the music.
Audio,
Yeah.
I do have one note about music is that in episode 1 they had an intro tune that's kind of like a lo-fi R&B vibe, and I was like, oh, that's a unique choice. I'm into that. And then the second episode right away it was like, oh no, we're just back to regular anime themes, I guess.
yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Hadn't quite figured it out. And they're like, nah, we're gonna go with this.
We're gonna go with just
Yeah,
regular.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one that was kind of cool. It's not normal enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna not like it. It's like son of a bitch. That annoyed me. Do you guys want to move on and talk about some caricatures?
Sure.
No. Before we do that, though, we should say, guys, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
You're gonna do what?
Do some crazy, weird, like out of left field kind of thing. So I'm gonna introduce this one because it's not just about subscribing and liking.
Yeah.
We are going to be at Anime North.
Whoa!
Hold on. When is this coming out?
When
Maybe we already were.
or maybe they already know because there's like been another promo.
Is this gonna be
Well,
out in
fuck.
the next month?
It's worth noting still. We
Well,
may have
well,
already
okay.
been to Anime North. And it's gonna be a good fucking time. Or it was a good fucking time.
Yeah, well, depending on when this comes out. But I'm pretty sure this is coming out before we go to Anime North.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is.
You probably already know that we're going though.
Yes, but we're going to be at Anime North. It's in Canada. It's in Toronto. Come say hi. You'll see us. We'll have a sign. We'll have some microphones and shit interviewing people.
Yeah.
So if you're around,
Come hang out.
Come hang out.
Come find us.
Yes. But also, like and subscribe.
Please do.
Wherever you get your podcast, all that good stuff. Tell a friend.
Yeah.
It really helps us out. Okay, now we can move on
About characters.
about
Yes.
characters.
Okay,
Do
cool.
it. Who are we starting with?
We'll start with Rico because she's the number one main character. And so we know she's an orphan, right? Her
Yes.
mom was like, what are they called? Explorers? We'll call them explorers.
Explorers, yeah.
And her mom went too deep and they think she's dead. And that's kind of her origin story of why she has to go into the abyss because she's going after her mom, right? And she's like obsessed with the abyss because of this. And then turns out she was born in the abyss. And her mom and her mom's friend used some artifact to bring her out safely, except then you realize that the artifact didn't bring her out safely. She was born stillborn, and that artifact actually like brought her back to life.
Yeah.
So she's a corpse, is what we found out. A literal living corpse.
Yeah. Fucking
Okay.
really cool.
Yeah, and as a result, she has something that's fucked up about her eyes, which again they don't get into. Something's up with her eyes. They don't really get into it at all. Another thing that I was like, you're just adding things to the already lots of things.
Which it's one of those things is like maybe this will play out down the road.
Probably
you know what
it
I
will.
mean? Exactly, but
Yeah.
it's like who knows really.
They just
Yeah.
gave you so much in this first season.
it wouldn't be the first time that they didn't follow up on
Yeah,
something.
yeah, sure. They can never keep up with the manga I'm learning. So sometimes
Yeah.
they'll try and then be like, we
Well,
can't write that in
That's
well.
that's
so.
the problem with anime, I
Yeah.
find, right? Like, you never always have a complete anime sometimes, and it's unfortunate.
It's almost like it's not that great.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You said that.
I will fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck you,
Just the delivery.
no.
I don't agree with him.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. we can disagree about this fucking anime. That's fine. But that part, you should be backing me up. You should have backed. No, shut up, Jordy.
His delivery was good. His delivery was good.
I need some popcorn for this episode just to watch you guys battle it out.
Fuck.
Kudos.
Thank you. I don't have much more else to say about Rico in the character section. You know what I mean?
She's a literal human crash test dummy, punching bag.
Yeah.
Guinea pig.
But they've written it into her character because the way she's so determined and ambitious and energetic, she puts herself in those situations. It's not like coming out of nowhere at her all the time, right? Her character lends itself to that occurring to her.
Yeah, it's also a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy because she idolizes her mom so much. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
She wants to hit that level of being a white whistle, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's been her goal from the beginning. She's like, I'm going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And now she's in the abyss. She's like, well, I might as well just go whole hog on this abyss thing.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Like,
I like her. I like her spirit. I just like she'd be so dead.
Yeah.
First layer,
dead immediately. I mean, Reg is the reason.
Yeah, no. First layer, she's fine because that's where they train.
That's the edge.
That's the edge.
Yeah,
Second layer, dead.
By the way, Reg has one shot.
Yeah.
Every
and then he falls asleep for
2 hours.
Yeah. But he does other things too.
First layer, bro. She's dead.
He's got extendo arms and shit.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He can also fight,
dude.
He can also fight without the blast, right?
Yeah, he can fight without the. He can also see.
Let's get into his tiny little.
He's the next guy.
Let's get into his tiny little 7-year-old body.
Yeah.
Somehow being imposing or powerful or scary to me. I'm supposed to buy it when his tiny little fucking kindergarten body
hold on, dude.
is flying through the air, swinging a weapon at this monster. I'm just like, again, it's the little kid thing. I'm like, God, give this kid 10 more years of age.
I agree with you, dude.
And I buy his lethality so much more.
He is supposed to be unassumingly lethal.
He is.
Radio silence.
He is.
Yeah.
He is that. He is that.
Yeah.
When he's using his one-shot blaster.
Yeah.
That takes 2 hours of unconscious sleep time to recharge.
Yeah.
I agree.
Outside
of that, he's a 7-year-old.
So okay. So you're telling me right now?
I have an 8-year-old, and she's dead in the second layer, guaranteed.
Look. How many times have you watched an anime where the main character is fucking OP as shit?
Plenty of times.
Right? So
They're never this young.
How old was Goku in original Dragon Ball?
This young?
Okay, that's in. Okay, but
where's my popcorn?
Goku also had like so many more powers at his disposal.
You're right.
Other than a hand cannon.
Yeah.
That, by the way, Homeboy still doesn't even fully understand.
Extendo arms.
Yeah.
Okay. And Goku didn't need a 2-hour nap after a single Kamehameha.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very different.
That's my point. Is like we've seen so many animes that have these OP characters, and it's nice to see that he's not really OP. He has an OP move, but it's like he's got so many things that he still has to learn and still has to grow to be able to master.
Yeah, that's why I'm just saying at this point, I don't buy him as this protector, as this powerful force.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the way that the show wants me to perceive him as.
Yeah.
There's an element of like they're just kind of like dumb lucky throughout this whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they didn't write that in as an element that's like apparent, but it's like
that's how I feel.
Yeah, it's the way it's the way that things happen.
When I talk to them when I talk about them being these little kids, I'm just like, you should be dead so many times over, and it's not remarkable that you're not, because you're right, it just feels like luck
a lot of times. Yeah,
and that's not like super interesting to me.
You've got to the point where Mikey's given up.
Yeah.
Let's talk very quickly about Reg, because the other thing about him, he's got no memories, which adds to this dumb luck thing. He doesn't know how his blaster works.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where the fuck he came from, right?
Yeah.
And I know there's like a long play to figure out his deal. Like they don't really get into it in this season at all.
Also, did you hear, because they mention it like 10 times in the show, he's got a penis as well.
Oh yeah, I did know about that.
Do you want to talk about it? Do you guys want to talk about his penis?
I actually
because the show definitely wants to talk about his penis.
I am not that interested in talking about his penis.
Mikey?
Mikey, I have a feeling like probably thought that was pretty cool.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's pretty cool. I'm just saying that it is on par for behaviors that children would probably explore their bodies and being like, "What's this? What's that?" Right? Like,
right, for sure.
So
like
I'm just that's as far as I'm gonna say.
Yeah. But for a grown ass
Yeah.
manga writer to choose to include those details
And
in
like-
his story,
And like, how about once? And then I'll go, huh, on brand for the age.
no.
Cool, moving on.
No.
You don't want it at all.
You don't want it at all.
No. But like also definitely not like 5 times.
Yeah, that's pushing it for sure.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
not
that's
not
fair.
cool.
That's fair. I would agree that like the one time when he's just like, "Who am I? What is this body?" Cool.
The
fine,
kids are
right?
curious. Oh, he's got a penis, so he must be like human.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We established that. Like, do we need the last episode to have a little boner
Here's the
fucking mention?
question.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Is it a robot boner or is it a fleshy boner? Does it have a blaster on the end of it, like his hands do? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering.
You know what? I'm not even gonna go there.
All right.
This is one area I'm not going.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
Let's go back to
right.
Monster Musume. I'll
Was
go
that
there.
better?
I'll go there all day long.
I mean, no, it was not better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about one more character. And I know there's probably 2 more you think we should be talking about, but one of them we'll say for plot because there's like a cool little way they reveal that character and what
Yes,
they're all
yes.
about. But Nanachi,
Yes,
Nanachi,
Nanachi.
yeah.
let's talk about her because she's got a lot of depth.
Let's talk about
Yes.
them. I just want to also mention the author of this, the creator of this,
Yeah.
made a point of
Okay.
using gender-neutral pronouns for Nanachi.
Okay,
oh,
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Very cool.
So if you can.
Yeah. So they.
I'll do my best.
We'll probably fuck up, but just so we know,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
knows, we're trying our best to be respectful of that.
Yeah.
You know, because that's, I think, a cool detail.
Yeah,
no,
Something
very
that people
cool.
probably connect with.
Yeah, I dig that. Okay, I liked their vibe because at first they're like mischievous and you're like a little scared
Yeah.
of like, what is this
Yeah.
thing?
There's an uneasiness
Yeah.
with them.
And
Yeah.
then like they help out.
Yeah,
and
'cause
you,
you also-
you learn a lot about their backstory and in the end they join the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I really like the way that character unfolded.
Yeah.
Same.
Maybe best character in the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would agree because there's so much more backstory that is more. Like you were saying before, there's a lot more depth to her character, and she's had so much more life, or they've had so much more life experience
Yeah.
that like really brings out this really cool fleshed out character.
Totally.
Not to mention, like you were saying too, I thought they were gonna fuck up the other two, like they were going to like hunt them.
Yeah, I mean at first that's the way that it seems. They
Yeah.
present them like that,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
Yeah. But I feel like I learned a lot from Nanachi, like through watching Nanachi, and then also through their backstory as well.
Well, and then at
Like
the
I
end
feel
of,
like I just learned so much about the world and kind of what was going on. Finally, things started kind of
Like understand.
rounding out. I'm like, okay, I really feel like I'm getting a grasp on like the strife in this
Yeah.
whole story.
And what else you get to is you learn about their struggle internally and because of what they've been
Yeah.
through. And then there's a massive catharsis, which you don't often get, especially in a show like this.
Yeah.
And then from that point, that character is allowed to move forward without that weight anymore. Like true character development.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was very well written, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
one of the more powerful moments.
Well,
and, like,
and her fucking or their fucking relationship with Mitty.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We're not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
But that is a good segue. Let's talk about the plot, okay?
Okay.
Now, there's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
So please tell me if I'm getting in the weeds with anything because there's a lot of plot.
Okay.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is
Too much.
a lot. Yeah.
So we already know about the Edge. It's like an orphanage she's in, and it's like also kind of a school. But the only thing they care about is sending children into the abyss to find these artifacts, right?
Yep.
And that's fucking it. Which-
Make that money.
Yeah. Through child abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they.
But it's weird, right? Because it's also their way of getting out of the system and working independently.
When they're 7.
being sent to their deaths.
Yeah. into danger. So, anyways, Rico is down there. Rico's down there, and she finds Reg just like passed out on a cliffside or something, and she brings him back and like decides like, oh, we're gonna get you into school. So they dress him up, bring him into school, and somehow they just like fool that teacher by like putting a coat on him, basically, which is like. All right. Which actually made me think that maybe in the future that teacher dude like kind of knows something's up. Like he's that kind of character where he's like helping them and like down for that. Like he's kind of on the team, I think.
Kind of
maybe.
chill, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Jirio?
Jiro?
I already said the
Jiruo?
names of all the characters that I remember the names of.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Okay.
He was also the apprentice of Rico's mom.
That's right. We
Right.
did know that.
So
yeah.
he kind of probably has that like,
Yeah.
oh, I kind of know what's going on kind of
Totally.
vibe, right? So
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of her mom, Rico finds a note that apparently is written from her mom, and it says like, "Hey, I'm down at the bottom, and I'll be waiting for you specifically."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I gotta go to the bottom." So she grabs Reg, just like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go.
They fucking go.
Exactly. Okay, so they get to the second level. This is after that giant. What did you call it?
The crimson split jaw.
Yeah, it attacks them. Whatever. They get away from that, and they get to the second level, and there's a monster just eating a dude's face.
Yeah.
Okay, and that dude's
Straight
like
up.
screaming like help, and like pretty quickly they figure out this is where it starts to get crazy.
Yeah.
This is the first taste of it, and they're like, oh, that guy's long dead, and this is like that monster when it's eating something, it makes them do that to try and attract more prey to come. That's twisted as fuck, man.
Yeah.
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 Very reminiscent of
Yeah.
like an anglerfish kind of thing.
It's
Yeah.
fucking
It was
twisted.
some of the monster design, creature design was giving me like I don't know if any of our viewers play Monster Hunter.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a lot of like that Capcom Monster Hunter kind of vibe for these creatures. And,
I love that though.
Yeah, well, like I said, some of them were really cool. That one in particular, that
Yeah.
was like eating that dude was like that one was like oh, okay, this is
Yeah.
pretty sick.
I know I said it up top, but I got a lot of Ghibli vibes, like Ghibli, but like with a bit of an edge.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
my thing. It was all kind of whimsical, but some of it was like whimsical and a little scary.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Kind of like Princess Mononoke meets Castle in the Sky.
I was getting Nausicaa as well.
Oh,
Vibes as well
Nausicaa.
too.
Yeah, Nausicaa is a good one to
Yeah.
compare it to for sure.
Yeah, okay, word. So they actually have to fight that fucking thing, and they do.
Yeah.
And then they eat it, and I'm like, that thing ate humans. Like, do you eat things that have eaten humans? I don't know. Oh, by the way, Rico is a great cook. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then they... actually, this is the first time we see a blast from his hand. And that animation was fucking sick too, because they make the blast look huge and imposing, and like after it's done, there's like rock melting off the side of the cliff face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy can do some fucking damage. Except that then he has to go to sleep for 2 hours.
Yep.
So,
But
good
I
night.
like that mechanism because then it really forces them to be even in more danger and having to work through.
Suffer more.
Yeah, except
right,
that
like,
they live every time.
Yeah, but
As
they
well, right?
also learn something every time, right? This is how
Yeah.
they have their growth.
That's true, and that'll come into play in a bit here too, because the next place they go to is the observatory, which is like a giant tree house, and they explain it as if it's like kind of a camp.
Yeah.
And they meet the blue-haired girl, who I think her name was Maruk. I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Who is like
Also,
also
another gender neutral pronoun
okay.
character.
Okay.
Again, not going to hold you to it.
I'll do
but
my best.
guys, we
Yeah.
recognize it and we're
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah, we're
respect
trying.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Maruk is also like a victim of child abuse and like just wants friends.
I know.
Yes.
But except instead they're forced to work.
It was a sad one. It was a sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Sad.
Because-
all they wanted was just someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
wanted some companionship. They want to feel like they belong.
Yeah.
They're also very curious as to what's going on above.
Totally.
Right? Like
but also like super scared of that crazy tall bitch who's like their master.
Yeah, Ozen.
Ozen.
Yeah.
I love Ozen.
Well, and that's what we'll get to next is we meet her, Ozen,
Yeah.
who actually we find out was the one who helped her mom carry Rico out of the depths.
Yeah.
Like they were down there on that mission together, which is crazy. And then like that night, Rico like stumbles upon the creepiest fucking headless monster thing just like in a room.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that used to be meat. That
Yeah.
was like going to
Yep.
be their dinner. And she like is running crazy experiments. And this is like a little bit of foreshadowing on the experimentation that's going on down here
Yeah.
in the abyss.
That
Yeah,
was a
and
creepy scene when that fucking creature thing came crawling out. That
very
was, like,
creepy, dude. Yeah.
Another part that was just like tonally, just like what?
It came out of
fuck?
nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a kid, think about this: when you're going out and like it's just dark in the hallway,
Yeah.
wouldn't you feel the same thing?
That I might see a headless meat monster.
No, but like even if your imagination is, yeah, like you
I would
might
shit my fucking pants,
maybe,
dude.
except that in
Yeah.
real life, I wouldn't actually see the headless meat monster.
You wouldn't actually see it, but your imagination would just go wild and thinking what's out there, right? So having that same feeling makes sense.
Yeah.
Whether you see the fucking
She
headless
didn't
thing
have
or
that
not,
feeling
yeah.
though until she did see the headless meat monster.
Yeah,
She was pretty confident walking out into the hallways.
She was just taking a stroll.
Yeah.
And it comes crawling out.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, it turns out she's using the same like ominous cube
yeah.
that brought Rico back to life in the first place to run all these experiments. And then she like pulls this weird move where she claims like, oh, actually your mom's dead and that note didn't come from her. And so then her and Reg like fight.
Yep.
And we get another like blast or an almost blast maybe. And that was another cool animation scene where they like had a close up of him powering up and it's like shimmering and it looks like it's getting hot. Loved that. Anyways, while they're fighting, we find out she's like augmented but with some artifact. And then suddenly she lays a beating on Reg, and Reg is like getting fucked up. And then out of nowhere, like a team of raiders show up,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Just kidding,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm good, a good guy.
We're all,
Yeah.
come on in.
We're friends.
Yeah.
We're friends. Yeah,
You know, it's but I love you see this archetype a lot though.
yeah. Well, she's testing them,
Right.
And she does it again, right?
Yeah.
Because she sends them out to like live out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like you think you can handle this?
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't handle this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you can't handle this because I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And you see this too in a lot of other animes, even just general stories, the archetype where you have the mentor who looks like the asshole or looks like the bad guy, but
Yeah.
isn't actually the bad guy, right?
Yeah. She also like because she's fighting Reg. I think what she's trying to do too is she wants Rico to be protected in the end, right? And she wants to make sure that this guy, if he's going to be the one to do it, you got to be able to do it, buddy.
Yeah.
And she also is actually the one who, like we talked about, the blast puts him to sleep. She's the one who's like, don't use that.
Yeah.
Because
she warns them. Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
when you use that, you're useless to protect her. You can't do it anymore.
But if
right?
you're going to use it, make
Yeah.
sure that whatever you use it on is dead.
Yeah.
Like not
Yeah.
going to mess with you anymore
yeah,
dead.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because like it's so scary and dangerous down there, and yet they still continue to live.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she sends them off to like survive for 10 days, and it's like it's kind of cool because they end up learning to like work off each other's strengths. So it's not just like Rico's helpless and Reg is blasting things and falling asleep. So that was kind of cool. And
I also love, like, I just have to go back. Ozen's design, especially when they like do that reveal where she looks like a really creepy.
yeah, she's got some artifact augmented into her body.
Yeah, but also her costume with the big hat.
Yeah.
Right, and like she looks.
Love a big hat.
I love a big hat.
Yeah.
Okay, for our listeners and viewers, Jay had a bucket hat on and he looked ridiculous.
I wasn't even talking about that. Wow, just thrown under the bus.
Yeah, why not?
The bucket hat
All
looks
right,
great. Just the
all right, there,
headphone.
Oliver Twist.
Wow. Okay.
We're not on the same team today. This is the thing.
I love
You
it.
just came for me in my fucking hat I was wearing earlier.
Not
out
even
of
related to
nowhere.
the show at all.
For no reason.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh my god.
I love you.
Okay,
love you
let's.
too,
We got a lot of thoughts over here, so let's
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to
okay,
get back
okay.
into it. So, okay, they eventually they leave. They go through the third layer, which is like the big open shaft. They get through that no problem. They get to the fourth layer. It's dope looking. It looks fucking amazing, dude. There's like underground platforms with pools in them. There's waterfalls. It's all foggy. There's a sense of humidity. I'm like, this is drastically different from where we just came from. I dig that a lot. And then there's another like crazy looking monster they have to fight, and Rico gets stabbed, and it's poisonous. And then this is another moment where it gets really dark, right? Because Reg, quick thinking like, but he's a 7-year-old, is like, oh, we got to go up. Like, I can't
Yeah.
help. We got to go up. So he like uses extendo arms, pulls up. She starts bleeding from every hole in her body.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh my god.
It's crazy, dude. And then comes the botched amputation, which is also fucking dark. And she's screaming, "Kill me, kill me, kill me!" And then a bunny shows up because of fucking course a bunny would show up.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
So that was the moment I think when
You fell in love.
with this anime.
Wow, I thought he was making fun of you, and you're like, no, yeah, that's what happened.
Exactly. Yeah, when I saw that point where like where her arm is broken and like you're getting amputated, I was like, that's when it really hit me on how dark this anime actually is.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I was along for the ride. I was like, sure, there's a lot of trauma. Okay, that's fine. Cool.
Up till this point of what you're talking about, me too. Now continue.
Yes, right?
Because this next part thing you're going to say, I don't know if I agree with. Like, you loved it. You loved that this was happening.
Okay, you know what I mean. I don't love the fact that it happened to her.
Yeah.
Like it's fucked up. But
You
what
love the
I'm
fact that
saying-
someone wrote this.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I this is where I
The
really
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just it was
It's intense,
It's
dude.
intense.
I'll agree
it
with
was
you.
just
It's
like
intense.
how like I just didn't realize how intense it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And then this was like really the point where I was like, holy fuck, this
Yeah.
took me to that next level.
So I lived in between you guys, whereas like I cringed at those scenes big time.
Yeah.
But I was also able to separate them from my enjoyment of the rest of the show that I was watching and like still enjoy the show.
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of in the middle of you guys.
For me, it was like I don't mind stakes being high. I don't mind dangerous things happening to characters. It's just that like there were several times choices made to take this beyond, to take this several degrees beyond what they had to in order to accomplish narratively the same thing.
Yeah.
Tonally, not the same thing. Okay, and that's why my big thing with this show is tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it's so tonally all over the place that
Yeah.
I can't settle on
It
where
is
the
kind of
show
all over the
lands
place
for me.
because like after what happens here, like she gets like the amputation is all botched. The bunny shows up, walks them through CPR, takes her back to the house,
Yep.
and like kind of heals her up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when she's healed, she's like,
Everything's great. I can't wait to go to the bottom again now.
I had some crazy dreams.
yeah, you're right. Totally, it's like a flip and a flop, and it's hard to mesh those two vibes.
Yeah. You know what? I think for me, I'm realizing a little bit more now that we're having this conversation is that my dopamine receptors are so fucking fried that like I need super extreme things.
Hey man, sit on that one for a bit when we're done here, baby.
We're gonna leave.
Yeah.
You stay here
Yeah.
for a while.
Reflect.
Yeah.
I need to reflect.
Yeah.
Just think.
Yeah, dude. Okay, let's blast through some more of this plot before we run out of time because there's
Yeah.
still so much more that happens here.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the craziness. Okay, so we learned about the curse and how they were wrong about it. We already kind of
Yes.
talked about that. The bunny goes to the hideout. The hideout is cool looking as well too. I love that
I agree.
spot.
Yeah.
Visually, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very Ghibli.
And then Nanachi shoves that medicine right up her butt. Right up there. And it fixes her all up. And this is where we'll go past that. Because there's more fucked up shit in the next sentence because this is where we meet. What's her fucking name?
Mitty.
Mitty. Okay. And they keep calling Mitty a roommate,
Yes.
right? And it's explained to us that they're hollows, which is
Yes.
basically humans who were dropped down to the 6th level and altered irreparably on their way back.
Yeah.
And Nanachi is an anomaly in that she's the only one that came up not turning out fucked up like
Mitty.
Yeah.
All the other ones came out like Mitty,
Yes.
which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Before we get too deep into that, there's this weird scene where Reg goes outside and just trips balls for a minute. Like he's tripping and he's like realizes, I think, that he's like remembering. He's having a memory.
Yeah,
But-
because he's part of the abyss, right? Like, and
Well, he was
it's-
made down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't know anything about him. He doesn't know anything about him, but there's this moment where he's like outside of Nanachi's house, but instead he's like not for a 2nd. He's like in a memory. They don't really develop it, but I'm sure they will. They have to.
Yeah.
It's a main element in the show. Okay, so then back inside, Mitty is like wiggling all over Rico and like slobbering and sucking on her, and it's fucking weird, dude. And then there's this weird eye-to-eye scene where they're like staring into each other's
So weird,
eyes,
dude.
and you
So weird.
see the physical body of Mitty inside
Yeah.
the weird shape that Mitty currently is. It's symbolic.
Well,
Right?
they both, you see it like because you see Rico as well.
Yeah.
In a similar like she's I guess in like a coma or something, or like
Yeah.
unconscious. Rico is also in this like little cocoon den.
Yeah.
Looking out
Yeah.
through a peephole, and all that Rico can see is a giant eyeball, and it's Mitty's eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right?
fucking weird, dude.
It's like
Dude,
it's like
trippy
Mitty's
as
trying to
fuck.
Yeah.
ground her in the, in life, right? Instead of passing over, because she's on the verge of death.
You think so?
You
I
think
think-
Mitty was trying to save her?
Oh, 100%.
I think Mitty is just freaking the fuck out.
I thought Mitty was just trying to like communicate with somebody.
No,
Yeah.
I think Mitty was still fully conscious. I think Mitty is fully there and fully aware, but her body doesn't allow her to be able to communicate in so many in weird ways. So, but for some reason is able to communicate with Rico and on like a telepathic level to a degree, not clearly by any means, but because there's so many elements about Mitty that is what helps her come back to life.
Yeah, they did. I think Nanachi even straight up says the medicine I used to help your friend come back to life came from Mitty. Like
Yeah.
that's I think they legit say that.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know.
'cause-
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah, Mitty's
I don't know.
also the one that is supposed to be immortal.
Well, she can't die.
She can't die, right?
Well, or so we think.
Well, yeah.
Reg takes care of that.
Reg takes
Care of that.
Yeah.
So let's get into this backstory situation between the two of them because that's really the next thing we get into.
Yeah.
Quick aside. Meanwhile, back on the surface, there's something called the birthday disease that is killing people, little kids, on their birthday.
Yeah. Little side
That's
story.
For that.
Yeah.
Didn't need that
Yay.
either. Yeah. Yeah, as if this show wasn't fucked up enough for kids. Now they die on their birthday.
Yeah. I think
I
it was
want
little,
more.
Little Caillou or whatever.
Yeah. Okay,
Got
so
sick.
in the backstory, some white whistle dude is forming this like strange cult of children up on the surface, like gathering up all these orphan children. He takes them down into the abyss, and one of them has like uncomfortably pronounced boobs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
it's
don't
uncomfortable.
remember that.
It's Mitty.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I mean, Rico build, but pronounced boobs.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, so they're down there.
Just keep going.
They're down there in the abyss, and they're locked in a room, and one by one they're taken out, and they have no idea where the fuck they're taken. We know that they're getting taken to this elevator that drops them down to the 6th layer, and then everything else, and then brings them back up.
Yeah.
And they kind of explain how it works, but I don't care. It's like this weird pushing of the curse out of the way or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, and it's like the kids all come back all deformed like crazy. And so like, yeah, the cult leader, I guess, comes back to get Mitty. And when that happens, Nanachi's the last one left in the room. So she like kind of sneaks out and goes to see what happens. And the cult leader's like, oh, while you're here, hop in this other elevator and you'll both go down together. And that's when like maybe the most fucked up thing you ever saw in
Yeah.
this whole show occurs. Jay, I'm sorry you
Yeah.
have to relive this.
I
But
know,
I'm
man.
going to explain it to you.
Is that
basically,
the real most fucked up thing? Because there's
Dude.
been a lot of fucked up things.
let me explain to you what happens here.
No, this is
Yeah.
the
Two
this is the most fucked up
7-year-old
thing.
children drop down in an elevator. Okay.
Yeah.
Both of them start deforming. One of them is bleeding, screaming.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's yeah,
Kill
you're
me!
right.
Kill me!
And it's not even like
Yeah.
like blood dripping. It's like frothing, like
Yeah.
foaming.
Flesh melting and
Yeah.
reforming, and teeth are moving. The whole body, it's fucked.
And she's
Yeah.
and it's not like kill me.
Yeah.
It's
Screaming.
Screaming.
Yeah. Not to mention, not just any other kid. It's the kid that this
Yeah.
orphan, lonely orphan, just in the past, like however long they've been on this journey with this fucking cult leader, like more or less fell in love.
Yeah.
Like they had this relationship where they
Yeah.
were like connected, attached at the hip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was that Stockholm syndrome. It was very also like 11 and Papa kind of thing in Stranger Things.
With the like cult leader guy,
Yeah. Well, he's a
he made it seem that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the kids didn't seem scared ever at all, even though the ones being taken away never came back.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
But yeah,
anyways,
okay, yeah, you're right. It is the most
It's
fucked up
intense,
thing.
dude. Yeah. So
The fact
then,
that was lost on you even for a moment, Mikey, is so concerning.
Okay,
dude.
look, it's been a while since I've
not
seen
that bad,
it.
is it?
Yeah.
that part was okay.
yeah.
Because he almost saw it coming.
I kind of liked it.
Holy shit, dude.
Look,
Okay.
again, it's all fantasy. It's like I can separate it from reality. It's all fiction. So I think that's where my brain doesn't connect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
We still love you.
okay,
We're here to
thank you.
support you, Mikey.
My Shweebs, solidarity.
Yeah. Okay, so
For those of you who love this one,
I wonder how many there are. I mean, it's a lot of it was great, but it's fucking twisted. Okay, so we're back
it
in
won awards.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, back in the present, we find out that Nanachi's been trying to kill Midi for years and is unable to because Midi is actually immortal and can't die.
Yeah.
And once she finds out about Reg's like fucking cannon power, she's like, I think you might be able to do it. You have to do it for me. You need to. And
I think Nanachi describes like the blast like that's the light where all things like begin and end or something.
okay.
Like
I don't remember that term, but like
no, there was like some. I'm paraphrasing. There was definitely like some deep description that Nanachi said when
Yeah.
they saw
Yeah.
the blast.
Yeah.
That was like. That's a very special thing that you just did.
It
It
makes
wasn't
me-
just like wow, that was powerful. Like the look of
Yeah.
the blast, like the way that the light looked, like Nanachi recognized that.
it makes me
was
wonder
really
if
profound for her.
Yeah.
because he's built down there and she's been down there or they've been down there for so long, maybe Nanachi knows some shit about
That's what I'm saying.
what's going on.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it could be the magic, like from the elements and the environment being able to be
I
harnessed.
love when it's magic from the environment and elements. It's the best. Dude, that's the best.
Yeah, I'm glad you're finally coming around.
That was sarcasm.
Yes, I know, you
So,
jackass.
bro. Okay, so Reg has this like emotional decision to make. He's
yes.
not sure. He's like, I don't want to kill anybody, but in the end, he's like, yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
If what you're saying is true, which apparently he just believes that it is, so he does it. And Nanachi has like the most intense cry.
Yeah.
The most intense cry.
Super
Yeah.
intense,
Yeah.
dude.
And it's not again nice to see real catharsis, like a real catharsis.
It was really emotional. The
Yeah.
kudos to the voice actress. Like
Yeah.
holy shit, like
Totally.
amazing performance. I really felt that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much to the end here. There's a quick flashback with Reg and Rico's mom. Like, you realize that there's some connection between the two of them. And earlier, you actually in her mom's journal, there's a drawing.
Yeah.
Of Reg.
Reg.
So you
And,
know
like,
there's something there.
I feel like there's probably like an entire race of Reg people.
Maybe
My guess was that Liza built Reg
to
You
send
think so?
specifically to get.
to guide Rico back down to her.
It's possible.
Interesting.
There's something
yeah,
going on there.
Yeah, there's something. For sure.
Okay, so like Rico's awake now and all healed up, or mostly healed. They take her to the healing pools, and there's like another child nudity gag scene there. One of like, what do you think? 5, 6,
Something
more
like
maybe
that.
because there's a
Something like
bunch
that.
with her, a bunch with him.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's disgusting. And then there's this like crazy Nanachi scene where like Nanachi like basically explains to them that they also want to die now. They're like, now that Midi's gone, I would like to also die, which is
Yeah.
crazy character depth
Yeah.
for a character who's young. You know what I mean?
Like I wanted, but that like
that's
they
what I'm
say.
saying.
I want to join MIDI.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I want,
Yeah.
they were
Ma-
best friends.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they were best friends, gone through so much trauma.
Yeah.
I totally get where she's coming from.
It was dark, but
Yeah.
that's on top of the catharsis we just saw. We see the depth of emotion in this character,
Yeah.
like, and you didn't see that before, which was kind of nice how they creeped that in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At first, like we said, we were scared of Nanachi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. They've been like surviving. They don't want to
Yeah.
survive anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And like they didn't have anybody else to be companions with, right?
Except that it didn't take that much convincing to get Nanachi to join the team. Pretty much just
Yeah.
like, instead of dying, just come hang out with us.
You come chill.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
help us navigate.
Yeah.
you
And
can
Nanachi's
do
like,
that.
okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
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 And that's kind of the end of the show. The last thing you see is like,
Well, wait. Did you talk about the removal of the growths on
Oh, the mushroom
Rico's
thingy.
arm.
Yeah. Why is that significant?
I was a little traumatized by the blood curdling screaming,
Okay.
followed by the low table angle shot that we get to reveal that she, in fact, again pissed herself
Well, I'm trying to
from the pain.
I'm trying to move away from talking about the child nudity. And
No.
The
But
screaming and the pain. Like,
This is again like a choice was made. Like
yeah.
the blood curdling scream was. And the cutting and the blood was more than enough to illustrate to us that this was a hellish procedure to endure.
Without a doubt.
Okay?
Yeah.
This slow pan to the foot of the bed
It's salt
where
on
you
the
can
wound.
just see her legs and then the puddle of pee as it... Why?
Were they trying to like... Were they going for, to use one of your terms, levity?
No! And hold on.
Pee is funny.
Under that context.
I don't know, dude.
That she was in so much pain that she peed herself.
Are they like just going for like realism?
They're going for brutality. They're going for like how traumatic can we make this seem to this character?
Yeah.
And I thought that was so heavy-handed and unnecessary and borderline creepy.
It made you mad.
It made me feel very uncomfortable. Like, am I being like just like exposed to some like weird fetish that this artist has, like this manga creator has, with little girls peeing? Because that's how out of left field it felt, man. Because I'm like, okay, that was a fucked up scene.
Yeah.
Oh, and she pissed herself too.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Let's fucking hear it, Mikey. Tell
maybe.
me.
he's trying to build some level of sympathy or empathy towards the character
That wasn't there from the blood, the screaming.
Yes.
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Shut the fuck down, buddy. No.
Yeah, that one I was just trying to like poke at.
That's
a
all right.
little bit.
Anyways, that's gonna be my last hang up.
Okay.
I think the reason why I breezed past it is because at this point we've seen that so many times. It's just another one.
And what's crazy?
You know what I mean?
So it's getting like weird that it keeps happening.
Yeah.
But what I
Yeah.
love about this is, and what's so crazy is that they've packed so much story, depth, world in 12 episodes.
That was actually something I think was to its detriment. It was too much for me. It was too much.
Could have been streamlined a little bit.
It could have been.
I was actually surprised. 12 episodes. I was like, whoa, that was a lot.
Yeah.
That felt like a long watch.
It's fast paced. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we don't even meet Nanachi until like the last 3 episodes, I want to say.
Yeah.
And this cult leader guy who's like, we know is going to be the big bad for the next season because he's the last thing you see at the end of the show,
he's in the
right?
movie.
Oh, okay.
He's in the movie.
And we don't even meet him until the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of ground to cover in this
Oh yeah.
show.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
July, guys. July is when.
Somehow, by the
Season
way,
2 starts.
that cult leader dude, I don't know why I'm calling him that, but it seems like that. But he somehow just like magically,
Bondrewed,
telepathically knows that Mitty died.
He sent. Yeah.
He's
no,
like,
the light thing goes out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What is that? He's
I
got
have
a
no
piece of
idea.
their life force?
Yeah.
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
And the last thing he says is his vow is to take out Nanachi. Like, he's like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That's the fucking end.
that's the end.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot, guys.
Yeah.
It sure was. It sure was.
Yeah.
I hope this episode is as traumatic for you as watching this show was for me.
No, what about the ones who loved this anime like I did?
Get help.
No, not at all.
Guys, you can
My
message us.
Shweebs,
We'll hear.
yes.
We're here to talk.
Comment down below.
No, what I'm
and
saying is we're here to talk if you need to.
I'm also here to talk if you need to,
Yeah,
or if
guys,
you just want to gush your
correspond with
Yeah.
Mikey for whatever group therapy you guys are going to attend. You guys can go together.
Yeah.
Don't wear a bucket hat, or Mikey will have some sort of issue with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure this podcast is all about just trying to throw each other under the bus anyway.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Speaking
sure.
of throwing under the bus, let's get into ratings.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you
Jordy.
my rating, but I'll preface before I give you the number by saying that Jay's made me feel bad about it.
Good.
Because when I watched this show, I did experience all those uncomfortable feelings as you, but I was able to compartmentalize them versus the whimsical, the world, the art that I was really enjoying. So for me, that separation did occur. Doesn't mean I didn't feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Because there's just something about this that is up my alley. It piqued my interest right away. The concept, I think, is really what is really doing it for me.
You're not going to give it like an 8? Because I feel like
No.
the way you've been talking about it is like an 8.
No. If
No, he's
anything,
up
I
for
want to take a point away because of the way Jay's been talking about it.
I was gonna say 7 seems too high for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Considering
I'm
how
not-
ruthless you are with like other
Other-
genuinely good shows,
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
For you
Well,
to give
don't
this a
forget
7
that-
is like whoa.
Don't forget-
Especially considering how many issues you seem to have with it.
Don't forget that none of my scores can be related to any of my other scores.
I
It's
guess
completely
you're right.
arbitrary,
That
dude.
is-
It's
that is-
literally-
that is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Scores
about
don't
you?
matter.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah.
I'll give this a 5.
A 5.
Yeah, this gets a passing.
Whoa.
It gives it a passing grade. You guys know why?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we
I
sure
kind
do.
of- yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. I give this a 7 point. No, I give this an 8. I give this a straight up 8.
Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah.
7.5. That's straight up 8. 8.5. But scores don't matter, Shweebs. So it's all good.
No, it's definitely an 8. Well, because this
8.5.
is what happened. Because I started feeling bad too a little bit
Yeah.
because of Jay.
Yeah.
So I went 7.5.
And then you said, no, fuck Jay.
Fuck Jay.
Amazing.
Okay, where can people find you, Jordy?
I'm at Reaching In on Instagram.
Nice. What about you, Senpai?
You guys can find me curled up in bed in the fetal position, recovering from watching this anime.
You guys can find me at Korean Barbecue 86 on Instagram. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Jay, you're
We
not
love
gonna like
you.
draw some like sick flash sheets of
Yeah.
little girls pissing themselves and little robot dicks?
I guess if Mikey wants me to, I will.
No, I'm okay. I'm good.
right,
Season
so
2's coming out. So.
He'll get his fill. All right, we are at Anime Shmanime on socials. Come say what's up to us, please. And see you at Anime North.
Yeah, see you guys at Anime North.
We
Love
already saw you there.
We may have
Or
already
we
seen you
may
there.
have seen you there.
Good to see you at Anime North. You guys are great.
Okay, love you. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace.